All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. I am your caster Tetcher for this evening. Is there a delay in my camera? Little bit. I'm sure it's fine. But welcome to the Storm Division Qualifier number 2. We already have one team decided for Storm Division, but today we will find our second, and everyone else will be battling out for those delicious points. Before we get too started though, thank you Zarumag for the raid with 17, thank you Ryokai for the host, and thank you Rio Naru. Naro? I'm going to go with Narrow. Rio Narrow for your wonderful follow. Thank you all very much, and welcome to the stream. Now, excuse me, before we get too far in, we're just waiting for the last player to join. Let's find out what we're doing tonight by having a look at the bracket. So, the bracket, as you can see here, is our qualifier. So, we are going to be looking at the top of the bracket. This is where we will be jumping in, and that is going to be New Game Plus versus Brawl is Life. Now, these are some very solid players here. We have, for example, we've mentioned this before, Brawl is Life are made up of some Division A players, including our own Nexus Edge host himself, Ryokai, running in here. He's playing with Sweet Buns, Drunk Dwarf, Death Strikes, and Vivanchi. Whereas on the side of New Game Plus, some insane level of play going to be coming in here. We have Altanium, we have Melly, we have Kevin, we have Big Bird, and currently one more player who we are waiting for to get started. Before we jump too far into this, of course, the winner of this, as you see, will be moving on to play against Team Alexander, the team that made it all the way to the finals last time before losing in a 2-0 in these all best-of-3 series. So, Team Alexander made up of our Korean pros. Let's see if the Americans can hold off Korea for another week. But for now, let's have a look at the maps to see where we will be going in this series. As you can see here, New Game Plus banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Brax's Holdout, sticking with all the Bs over here. Whereas Brawl is Life removed Sky Temple, and they removed Tomb of the Spider Queen. This does mean that Brawl is Life went for first pick, and New Game Plus were able to take us to Infernal Shrines. These are our maps. This is where we'll be heading, and once again, this is a best of 3. This will decide who moves on to play against Team Alexander and see if we can knock out the Koreans very early, or whether the Storm Division will be graced by that HGC Korea goodness. So, once again, we're still waiting for one more player to materialize, and then we'll be able to get into this. But already, a lot of excitement here, with some very strong players coming up here. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Brawl is Life because I've played and subbed a little bit with Ryokai, done a couple of scrims with him. He's a very nice guy, and of course, host of Nexus Edge. That's pretty dope. So there's a little bit of hype there. But New Game Plus, there's a lot of people, great people in the squad, and we can see Murder in the chat right now. He's got a little bit of a lead that way. He's feeling it. We know which way he will be rooting. We'll see if it works out for him. I'm just going to ask the players if we have any ETA. Any ETA on 5th? Never mind. They joined before I could finish typing. Feels good. Alrighty. I'll let them know. Caster R. And then hopefully we can get underway as soon as possible. So once again, this is going to be New Game Plus on the left. We're going to have Brawl is Life on the right. And we're going to be jumping in very shortly. New Game Plus are waiting. They need a moment, and then we'll be getting underway. There we go. We got it ready. I believe that means, ladies and gentlemen, we are good to go. Let's waste no more time. Thank you very much for the follow, Diegoski146. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. If you guys are enjoying the stream, once again, I do this for free. NGS do not pay us unless we stream on their channel, in which case they pay via the subs and bits you give them. So if you enjoy the main NGS channel, Galaxy Quest, thank you for the follow. If you enjoy the main NGS channel, be sure to show it by subbing and donating it to the people on that channel. And if you enjoy the streams on my channel, then subs, donations, bits, anything you can give helps out and keeps us going. Hello, Aero. We have a draft. Let's head into it and get underway. So, Brawl is Life going to be taking the first pick and first ban as we get ready to roll on in. Let's do this. So we're going to be starting off with Deckard Cain as the ban here. Deckard Cain, incredibly strong hero, but usually not first pick worthy, but he really has just been rising higher and higher. The Ruby plus the study build has been very solid here. And Murder. Thank you very much for that sub with his Twitch Prime. Very sensible. Let's get this going. New Game Plus, what is their first ban going to be? It says sub, Murder hit sub. Thank you very much, Murder. It's gonna be Cassia. It's Mystic Gaming. Thank you very much for your follow. Now then, with Cassia removed, this is more of a standard ban. Cassia, Tassadar, these are two of the bans we expect to see in most games these days. But they have been shifting a little bit due to the higher priorities, especially with the tanks, Johanna and ETC getting very minor nerfs, but still enough to move them down the priority. We've been seeing Garrosh jump quite high up in priority, as Sylvanas, another hero who seems to keep sneaking into these top echelons as we make our way in. New Game Plus. Second ban with Sylvgon, 0 tank focus. We have 2 ranged assassins, 1 support. This does leave heroes like Rhaegar open and Ana especially. Heroes who are very good. We also have comfort picks for a lot of these players. They've played against each other a fair amount, but for now we're sticking with standard and we're going to be banning the Tassadar. Nothing too far out of the ordinary to start us off here. Keeping it simple as we get into the first pick. Now, once again, we do have some comfort picks for a lot of these players. Ryokai especially very good at Sylvanas, but very good at Phoenix as well. Raider also quite high one. But we're going to be starting off with the Johanna. Despite her nerfs, still going to be quite high up in priority. You just got to play her a little bit differently, but overall her job remains the same. So even through these changes, Johanna is still high up, and it does make the Garrosh pick a little bit less appealing. However, we still have heroes like ETC. We still have Diablo, who has massively leapt up in priority due to the nerfs on Johanna and ETC. But for now, we're sticking with Blaze. Now, Blaze, of course, could open up into a main tank role, which is definitely more of an American flair, but 100% viable in the current meta as a main tank. But if not, they can still run it as an off lane and keep their draft very flexible with this opening. And taking that Blaze denies it away from Brawler's Life, because Johanna Blaze is still one of the deadliest combos in the game. But now with Ana on the board, they've opened themselves up to potential Li Mings, Janas, Kael'thasses, all heroes who are very solid on this map, even Gul'dan, who can control the objective. Yrel and Greymane, so this is literally just let's pick all the highest tier heroes for every role that we can think of. This seems to be the plan for Brawler's Life, as Johanna, arguable to be in the top tier for the moment. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but it's still a safe pick, it's still a solid pick. Yrel, potentially the most dominant top laner in the game, of all time, potentially. And Greymane, one of the top assassins. Very sensible pickup. Reasonable on the objective. Good enough follow-up onto any engages. It's going to be a very solid and safe pickup here, as we do see Stukov banned away. Now, Stukov very sensible here. Stukov would have been really solid as a follow-up to Johanna and potentially another stun hero. And the extra, the actual healing output is some of the best in the game right now. With Rhaegar potentially still pickable. They want to try and force them into that, and then they can maybe try and play around it with, say, a Falstad or something similar. Orphea is a beautiful ban right now. Orphea, with Ana, you expect mages, people like the Li Ming, like the Jaina, like the Kael'thas, as we already mentioned, but Orphea is one of the best Ana heroes in general, so it's a very sensible ban here, can kite Johanna and Yrel for days, and really gives solid control. There comes the ETC coming out. Now, ETC into Johanna is, of course, basically a game of stun chicken. Who is going to drop first, the Mosh Pit or the Condemned? You've got to play around it safely. And Hanzo, very safe, decent nano boost target, very safe pick here. Gotta stay away from Greymane, but right now, Yrel's the only person who's really going to be able to put pressure onto that Hanzo without Greymane or potentially overextending. So this is a sensible pickup right now. Play very far back, poke the objective, get that nano boost, and still opens them up to a good final target. Here comes the Tychus for Ryokai, unless there is a swap coming in here. Tychus has leapt up in priority, and with ETC Blaze, he could get a lot of value here. He has a lot of ways to survive hard engage, and he has a very nice way of burning through those tanks. That's double percentage damage if they do decide to go for that cursed bullet or the Alpha Claws later levels, and Whitemane to finish it up. They are going for a very push and keep pushing composition here, with Whitemane needing to deal that damage to get value. And we finish up the draft for New Game Plus with the Kael'thas. Very sensible here. They have the Ana. They are now up against a team that is going to be pushing very hard, so they pick two very long-range backliners, with the objective being to stay away from the enemy team and not get burst down. Very sensible pick. Stay away, stay safe, don't get killed. This is the strategy for New Game Plus. Now, New Game Plus, they do have a solid setup here, but once again, even though they are very far backline, they are quite squishy, and Yrel and Johanna both have the ability to lock down that front line, and Yrel, more importantly, has the ability to dive past it. Tychus is tanky enough that he might be able to push through, and of course, Greymane is here for burst. If there are any positioning mistakes from New Game Plus, they could be in trouble. However, the Blaze ETC combo is a massive lockdown with Dragon Arrow as a follow-up. This is all incredibly good setups for the Kael'thas, meaning that if we see large group ups without the Iron Skin being utilized by that Johanna, this could be New Game Plus's game to win. Let's find out as we head into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the right-hand side, it is Brawl is Life, and playing for them, we have Sweet Buns playing the Johanna, Drunk Dwarf on the Yrel. We have Ryokai playing the Tychus. We have Vivace on the Whitemane, and Death Strikes on the Greymane. But on the left-hand side, it is going to be New Game Plus with Altanian playing on the Blaze, Splash on the ETC, Melly is going to be playing on the Ana, Big Bird on the Hanzo, and straight up AFK, it's Kevin going to be playing on the Kael'thas. We're underway. I'm quite surprised they haven't paused, considering there's an AFK member, but they're just going to play it out as we have a look at some of these level 1 talents. Let's get this underway. So, having a look at some of these level 1 talents, we are going to be seeing the Sleep Dart build, very standard for Ana. The new Adrenaline Stim Pack. This is kind of cool to see because Blaze's auto attack build has been massively buffed, and apparently he can beat Malthael now. So seeing him run into that, we'll keep an eye on this lane that a little bit more and see if he can get some actual value out of that. Kevin has woken up and arrived into the team and has gone straight back to the Hall of the Storm. So far has the highest average amount of time in the Hall of the Storm, but that was just that wasn't his fault. That is a relatively safe rotation, but very solid gank by Brawl is Life, really making the most of that and playing it up as Death Strikes has already started on the Mercenary camp, capitalizing on every advantage that Brawl is Life are achieving here. We're going to be seeing the Mana Addict and the Prog Rock for ETC, and that's going to be a Laws of Hope for Johanna. Expecting a lot more pokes, so goes for a little bit more regen. Good survivability, but it means Johanna is going to be way more reliant on absolutely getting every single Iron Skin correct, because now, without that 5-second cooldown reduction that the Laws of Hope gives, it really that the Iron Skin gives, that level 1 talent, then they actually really do need to pay attention, because otherwise, without that 5-second reduction, it's a 25-second cooldown. That's almost some heroic abilities. So has to play carefully to avoid getting caught out, because she's not going to have that get-out-of-jail-free button that she would normally. You can see Sweet Buns really is playing aggressive up here, really disrupting the rotations. Trying to keep the pressure on as Ryokai clearing out the lanes, making the most of that minigun, making the most of that push potential. Nicely done. He's gone for press the advantage here. Extra attack range. Not going for the dash build, which does mean this will likely be an auto attack build as opposed to a potentially Q-based build, because this is going to allow him to stay a little bit safer away from ETC and from Blaze instead of trying to kite them and use them with the extra mobility. Going to be seeing the Martyrdom coming in for the Whitemane. A little bit of extra healing. Always nice to see. More rotation disrupts, but there is a Sleep Dart. Counteracted here. Nice to see. A little bit of a slow. Disrupts Johanna. Punish her for the rotations, but right now, XP very much in favor of Brawl is Life, controlling the map right now, making sure they're topped up on mana. The 4-man Mercenary Cap coming in for New Game Plus, leaving ETC to grab the XP bot lane and mid lane. They're going to send Kael'thas as well, and it looks like the plan is literally just to be late for this objective and play around it that way. As right now, Drunk Dwarf has already started it. You're going to be seeing those Incinerated Gauntlets, comboing especially well with that Adrenaline Stim Pack. Very cool to see. Good chance we'll see a decent Petroleum as well, but it's not 100% a necessary talent. And nice reactionary talent coming in here. We're going for Energy Royal, coming in for Kael'thas here, ready to try and stop try and stop Yarel, jumping onto him, giving himself a little bit more of a lower cooldown get out of jail free card. It's cool to see, as we also see Speed Metal with healing from Prog Rock and Speed Metal from the Speed Metal. It's kind of a build your own Lucio coming in from Splash here, as he's gone for aura-based build. Flame Strike's coming in, keeping on the pressure, but very easy win coming over for Brawl is Life. No actual hard push coming in from the side of New Game Plus. They stay safe, they stay away. We also see Explosive Arrows coming in from Hanzo, as well as Target Practice and the Dragon Hunger's Maximum Burst build. Really going for the extra pressure here. Good Flame Strike. Very good Flame Strike. In fact, with Burned Flesh for the extra damage there. Vivanchi takes a lot of damage. Punisher was beautifully pulled, though. No one's going to get punished here. And this Punisher will be taken out. They're able to take down one tower. Looking for the second right now. Have a couple minions still here. Ryokai took out the gate. Going to kite back beautifully. Dodge away from Kevin. And he pushes very aggressively. That was a bit far, Ryokai. But he gets out. He's safe. He moves away. He got some counter poke in general. But he put himself in a little bit of a risky position, but he played it quite well. Was able to prevent himself from getting burst down here, as Altanian makes his way down to bot lane to match up with Sweet Buns. Has gone for the Crossfire, not gone for the Adhesive Petroleum here, gone for a little bit of extra burst to add on to the already very bursty build, especially with Hammer-On coming from ETC. So not full damage builds, that could have been if he'd gone for the Echo Pedal, so keeping it a little bit safer here. Splash. Very aggressive push up, but is just going to get melted by Ryokai. That's the joy of Tychus, who just catches the Campbell-Tanium. Tried to stutter step, but instead just gets punished on the objective. There's the chase. A decent patrol. Sorry, there's the Adrenaline Stim Pack being used for the extra move speed to get a good sleep down from Melly, as they are all going to pull back. Johanna comes forward. Stun from Splash onto Vivanchi. Great knock-up onto Ryokai from Kevin, but it's not enough to pick up the kill. The turnaround attempt was there, but the attention was too split, and they don't pick up any kills. Cocktail coming in from the Grey Maid. Incendiary Elixir coming in. That's, well, poke on the objective. I can see the value, but it means he does not have any intention of staying safe at range or getting that extra cooldown reduction, cooldown increase in damage range on the swipe. Very interesting to see here. Tank talent for Tychus, Relentless Soldier. This is, of course, a must-have, especially against ETC and Blaze and Hanzo. You really got to get that armor value. It's a good talent as well. It's just a solid pickup here. That, though, is a Divine Reckoning. The aggression coming out of Brawl is Life is showing at every single turn that they want these big team fights. There comes the Blessed Shield. Ryokai coming in, but Splash zoning the rest of the team, which means the turn onto Ryokai is fantastic here with the healing dart, with the anti-heal grenade. That is Ryokai getting taken out. The only person following up on Sweet Buns. The Sweet Buns is trying to move back. Will be able to get away. Scatter Arrow gets some good damage, but the stun not able to lock down Sweet Buns. Beautiful play by Splash, zoning everyone away, leaving Ryokai a little bit isolated. Nicely done. Very good to see here by New Game Plus, turning that in their favor as we do see the start coming in. Untapped Fear, thank you for your follow. As Death Strikes starting on the Mercenary. Ryokai has already returned. Kill count 1-1, XP count almost exactly equal as Mercenary camps grabbed for both teams, but Splash is going to be soaking this bottom lane, continuously grabbing more experience. Gonna try and extend that lead a little. Mercenary camps pushing only in the top lane, nothing else is available. As the advantage comes in for Brawler's Life for the moment. Are we going to see Ryokai drop that Commandeer Odin early as Johanna goes very far forward, trying to find the opportunity, but there goes the Iron Skin. That's now down for 25 seconds. Stun one, anti-heal grenade with the Phoenix going to try and zone everyone away, but Drunk Dwarf with the two-man zone. It's Big Bird going to be taken out. Ryokai is dropped very low here, but good healing from Vivanchi. Ryokai diving deep and right. Ryokai still has that Commandeer Own It, and Divine Reckoning is still available if anyone groups up. The bunker has been dropped, but Mosh Pit is still available. Start onto Drunk Dwarf. The CC follow-up is fantastic, but look at that Divine Reckoning, keeping the Yorel alive. Drunk Dwarf tanks through, and Oltanian gonna be focused down, but not enough for the kill. And Death Strike has gone deep, real deep, and there's the heal. Death Strike's kept alive. Uh-oh, here's Splash, though. Splash gonna be able to pick up that kill. No, it's gonna be Kevin who gets it in the end, 27 to 36. Into the mosh pit, Yorel just leaps in. Johanna doesn't have Condemn available. Flame Strike comes out. Drunk Dwarf is low. Ryokai is trying to kite away. He finishes the objective at the cost of his life with the spray and pray as Johanna goes down as well. A 4 for nothing in exchange for the objective. And that Punisher is going to be eaten alive by New Game Plus, as they just got themselves a lot of map pressure. Blaze not even coming in for the defense, goes for the soak. But Yorel, uncontested down in bot lane, has been able to smash this minion wave to pieces and keep the pressure going there. So we see Splash working away on this Mercenary Cap as level 13 is hit almost simultaneously for both teams here. There's that Pyromania, very important here. Good damage, and CC Train onto Drunk Dwarf, not enough for anyone to be able to contest this. Sweet Buns will see this, tries to move in, takes a lot of damage, gonna be forced to back away. Cannot risk that fight. Almost got the subdue stacks there, was 3 out of 4 heroes. Stun onto Drunk Dwarf. Thanks for it. Leap Dart not landing. Healing Grenade does, but they're able to hold for the moment. Mercenary Cam going to be cleaned up real quickly. It's a Grey Main. No concerns there as it moves into the defensive position. So far, Yorel yet to pick her level 4. There we go. Cast a Curse. Repentance coming in. The extra slow, as well as the Holy Avenger coming in here. Very much a leap-based build. Gotta be careful around that. Disadvantage of Energy Royal there. You don't get the extra range of Netherwind, so that would have been a stun if they'd actually taken it. As target practice is completed, and we already can see the Mana Addict is done. Here comes the Unfettered Assault. It's a very good talent here. Get that cooldown reduction going, and that extra lunge distance is really good as not only an escape tool, but the ability to chase down heroes like Hanzo, who are going to try and kite you. Blaze continues to soak up here in top lane. Maximum Armor Tychus, Neo Steel Coating coming in here, keeping the pressure on that way. Bless Shield onto the squishy members. That is gorgeous. Beautiful energy roll, though. The Dragon Arrow comes out. Great lunge with the Razor Swipe there. Unfettered Assault already getting value. A fantastic engage denied by Kevin. Able to get the 2-man energy roll and keep his team alive, because that engage was gorgeous by Brawler's Life. But it did not work. The turnaround by Kevin, showing the value of Energy Royal here. Very nice to see. As we see the mercenary camps being cleaned up, preventing any more map pressure. And this game is super even right now. It's 5 kills to 2, but Brawler's Life, in terms of map control, are really showing up here. They're going to start on their mercenary camp here. They hit level 15. They're just under half a level behind. Here comes the invade. Very risky. Pre-16, trying to make it happen. No one sees this. No one was positioned to scout, and it's gonna be Ryokai who's focused down. The cleanse was good, though. Intercession. Ryokai will live. Vivanchi will live. The turnaround is incredible by Johanna, and they pick it up. The jumps, body ups from Drunk Dwarf as Death Strikes leaps into the backline and picks up 2 kills, looking for more. A Splash is the target. Curse Bullet's been used. They have nothing left to chase, but that was beautiful. The intercession from Vivanchi. The camp is gonna be taken. The intercession from Vivanchi. The kiting from Ryokai. The incredible Divine Reckoning from the white main. Vivanchi carried that fight for his team and leaving Drunk Dwarf the time to get the jump and Yorel time to get the condemn. A fantastic turnaround on what should have been a death and a camp steal. What a play, as this objective's gonna be taken. This camp is finally finished. Who left Johanna up there? Who thought that was a good idea? As they finish it off, that camp will de-push top lane because it is quite pushed up. Objective's going to be complete. Everyone's going to be mostly topped up by the time they even grab the Kazaras down in this bot lane. They're going to have everyone down here. Mercenary camps in every lane. They even pause it at 39. This is exactly what you should do if you want to get value. You're not going to give the enemy team anything from this. They already have 16. Everyone's alive. You don't give them anything from waiting that time, so you might as well gain the advantages that you have. Here we go. Punisher. Frozen Punisher. Moving on to a keep. The trap is set. But there's already warning pings. They know to expect something risky like this, so it's Drunk Dwarf who is going to face check, and he saw Splash. That is good news for them. They make their way forward. They got the Commandeer Odin going for full siege here. Death Strikes took a lot of damage, but they are going through here. They're going to try and push this down. We have the sizzling attacks for Tychus. They've got that extra percentage damage now as they burn their way through, looking for the key. They have to be careful, though. That thermal protection for Blaze, as the chance is now available for the turnaround. Stun onto the backline. Splash has gone too deep. He's slowed by White Mage. They look for him. Dragon Arrow finds no one. The targets are not there. Down goes the keep. And Drunk Dwarf is causing all the pain, all the chaos with the sizzling attacks of Ryokai. They burn through Blaze. The route from the core, though, turns it onto Ryokai. He's going to tank through it, though, as the Punisher was baited mid. But who needs the Punisher when you have auto attacks, as we see the race coming in here? Greymane gets caught in the core route, though. They're still going to try and race this. Sweetbuds looking a little low here. White Mage trying to keep everyone alive as they focus it down. Sweetbud's going to be forced to retreat. Big Bud looking for his targets, trying to take everything out, but it is too late as Death Strikes does too much damage, and game number 1 is going to go over to Brawl is Life. Brawl is Life with a very solid end. They're a little bit shaky in a couple places. I think there was too much focus on not getting hit by the core, which, yes, is important, but they weren't actually being that pressured. They could have simply microed into the gaps in between and got a little bit of value that way. But still, a very impressive performance coming in from Brawl is Life to take game number 1. But a very even early game coming in. We see New Game Plus with some solid performance here. And you can really see that ETC, 0 deaths ETC, which is actually quite impressive for a tank. And that 41,000 damage Kael'thas. That's where a lot of the money plays came in here. For New Game Plus. But more importantly, this is something I really want to bring up here, this Hanzo. This Hanzo played very well, but these Dragon Arrows were scuppered by the ability of Brawl is Life to simply part away from each other to prevent those Dragon Arrows landing. We saw, I believe, 1 Dragon Arrow actually hit out of 4 fired. The sidesteps were just too good for Brawl is Life. The setups did not land. And as such, Brawl is Life were able to take the fights and were able to take the victories. MVP for me, 100% Vivanchi. What the hell was that, mate? That was absolutely insane plays. That is definitely the best Divine Reckoning game I have ever seen. Properly turning the game on its head multiple times. The intercession, of course, we saw that earlier, saving Ryokai, who, as we can see here, did pretty solid damage output along with Greymane. They really kept that up. Johanna, by the way, solid damage with the Sin's Exposed Subdue Raw build. Very cool to see here. And yeah, these are your talents. Screenshot them if you want them. As we head back to me. What a performance! Very solid game number 1 coming in from the side of Brawl is Life. There is definitely a delay on the webcam now. I'm going to see if I can fix that super fast, because that shouldn't be happening. It has happened, but it shouldn't be. So let's see if I can fix that quickly. Let's just do that and that. There we go. Ah. Yeah, that's better. It's still a little bit delayed, but it is rough. All right. So, New Game Plus have chosen first pick, which means that we now know that Brawl is Life chose the map. Alrighty, which means I can now show you there is no delay. There was a delay on my side. I fixed it now, but it looks like we're good. it looks like we are good now, as we are going to head into the maps to show you exactly where we are and what has been going on. So, game number 1, as you can see, went over to Brawl is Life, taking Infernal Shrines. New Game Plus have opted for first pick in game number 2, meaning Brawl is Life will be the ones taking us to Cursed Hollow. Nice to see here. While we're waiting for this game to start up, I'm going to let the players know that I am ready. Caster... Pirate. This is the draft this is the bracket we will be going through, as you have all seen. Give it a bit of a refresh, make sure that everything is good and everything is up to date. We are good. We don't have any results yet. No one was able to win a game in the time it took another one to go through. But of course, we are going to be following the top of the bracket here. We will be seeing the finale of New Game Plus versus Brawl is Life. Will we go to a game 3? Will this be a 2-0 for Brawl is Life? We will be finding out shortly. Winner of which will be going on to play against Team Alexander, the team made up of HGC Korean pros. And the winner of that will play against Regen, or he's literally won. That will be tomorrow, and I will be covering that as well, but I will not be covering it here. I will be covering it on the Nexus Gaming Series channel. So make sure you check that out tomorrow, where I will be covering the final games, as well as the bottom of the bracket, and of course finding out who makes it on and into the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. Right now you can see we have CPOGX Fan Club, 4G Sports, Team Alexander Fan Club, Quarantine, we take these, and FKC Gaming. Lots of good players there, plenty of options, and plenty of playability. This is going to be a very good league here, as our teams have said they are ready, meaning we are going to be heading into the draft right now. We're going to be heading into the draft, ladies and gentlemen, where we will get this underway. Game number 2 between New Game Plus and Brawl is Life. Let's get it going. As we are rolling. So, New Game Plus, once again, we've already said, have opted for first pick and first ban in this best of 3 series now. As Brawl is Life, we're able to take game number 1. They are the ones who have chosen to take us to Cursed Hollow today. Now, where are we going to see New Game Plus? We're going to see them start off with the Tassadar ban. Still a very sensible pick. It's still a very good hero. There goes Cassia. Looking pretty normal to start us off with. Nothing too far out of the ordinary for now. Excuse me, I choked on my drink. Alrighty, New Game Plus. Where are they going to go for the second ban? They banned Dahaka. That is interesting. Definitely not a high priority hero, but definitely a solid ban due to global potential. I wouldn't call that, though, a top ban. I definitely wouldn't say that is massive value, but they clearly have a plan, and there might be some comfort picks that I am not aware of, being relatively new to the NGS scene. As we do see the Deckard Cain banned out once more, the power of it is just real strong at the moment, as Abatha makes it through the draft and becomes first pick. This is another reason why we saw Dahaka banned away. We immediately see the priority of heroes like the Vikings, if there is a Vikings player on Brawl is Life. Vikings, Falstad, Zeratul, any heroes like that have massively jumped up in priority now because you want ways to deal with that split push potential. Going to be starting off with Mei, and there is the Phoenix coming in as their second pick. So, Mei, I believe Avalanche is still banned. I will double check this while we're in the draft, because I'm pretty sure it was in the server earlier. I'm just going to, I think it's exclamation mark bans. Yes. Yes, Avalanche is still banned, so we will not be seeing an Avalanche. This is going to be an Ice Wall game. Very cool to see here. But Phoenix does this very well. Lots of slows, meaning Phoenix can get some really solid damage output. But here comes Rhaegar, and here comes Sylvanas. Rhaegar is one of the best targets for an Abatha, and there is also Bloodlust with Sylvanas is really hard to deal with. This does mean that Brawl is Life now, with Deckard Cain banned out. They are now short on healers who can really counteract the Rhaegar. The best healers, in fact, to counteract Rhaegar are Deckard Cain with Stay While and Listen, and of course Stukov with the Flading Swipe. But we already know that New Game Plus are comfortable banning out that Stukov, and may just do so again to remove that counterplay. This will leave Brawl is Life onto heroes like perhaps Falstad for Gust, or some kind of secondary tank to really turn around the sustain here. As Ghost Dunk, thank you very much for the sub.
Let's go Brawl.
We will go Brawl afterwards. There's a tournament going on. Thank you very much for the sub. If you're enjoying the show, please be sure to drop a sub, drop a donation, throw some bits my way. It helps me afford to keep doing this casting, because otherwise it is hard. I lose time that I would have to spend casting. I would very unlikely be able to do all these American games if I had to go out and get a full-time job, because I'd have to be up at times like 6 AM, which is sometimes when I finish casting. Blaze and Orphea are going to come out here. They saved their healer for last pick. Okay. That is interesting, because once again, Stukov is still quite high on priority, and they can still go for this, because that would be the counteraction to Rhaegar. But I think they're waiting to see if this might end up being a sneaky Ancestral build, which would be a little risky. But Orphea also is just absolutely insane these days. Great kiting capability, control over the objective. But look at that area control coming in for New Game Plus suddenly. Garrosh and Alarak making it so hard for Brawl is Life to get good positioning. Alright, final pick, support. Ana could be on the board here due to Orphea being shown. Stukov still probably the highest priority due to its counteraction to Bloodlust, which could still come in here. If not, Anduin, potential leap of faith to pull heroes back who get thrown by Garrosh. And that's what we're going to see here. Going for safety that way. May and Blaze are also fantastic light bomb targets. It looks like those picks weren't correct. They've asked for a remake. Someone could not pick correctly. Vivenci could not pick the correct hero. I will ask who was meant to be picked. Who was meant to be picked? See if I get an answer for that. But it looks like we have a little bit of a... We have to have a remake. Someone needs to make their way back in. I can't tell if that's troll. Yeah, I think that's real. Okay, so it looks like, if I'm correct here, I think the Alarak is meant to be Illidan. Unless I'm being trolled. But it's looking like Alarak is Illidan. If they are telling the truth here. Alright. And then we chose Stukov at the end. Sliz, thank you very much for the follow. And yeah, it was Illidan, and the last pick was Stukov to turn it around, because Stukov is, of course, better counterplay to deal with a more bloodlusted composition, which with Illidan, it is. So yeah, no Alarak, it's Illidan. And we have our heroes. Alright, New Game Plus putting their hopes onto the leader of the Illidari Demon Hunters. And on the other side, the Infested Terrans bringing out Stukov for Brawl is Life. Leno, Caster, R. And we should be good to go. Why would you downgrade? I do like Alarak. I do love me Alaraki boy. And we are getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. So, our final drafts, I'll tell you these because obviously stuff changed. Unless the game broke. There we go, we're good. Alright, so the final drafts for New Game Plus. It is Rhaegar, Garrosh, Illidan, Abatha, and Sylvanas. Whereas for Brawl is Life, Phoenix, May, Stukov, Orphea, and Blaze. These are our drafts. Right now, looking at this, the potential for Snowball is 100% in favor of New Game Plus. But in terms of actually kind of counter drafts, Brawl is Life actually have a really reasonable draft into New Game Pluses. They just have to execute it correctly and not get dove past. Let's find out if it's going to be enough, as ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the right-hand side, it is going to be Brawl is Life. And playing for them Avalanche bad too, so we don't have to rematch again. Yep, that happened last qualifier, but we are good this time. On the playing for Brawl is Life, we have Ryokai on the Phoenix, Vivanchi on the Stukov, Basic, Skinner, Pleb Horse, Ew, Drunk Dwarf going to be playing on the Blaze, Sweet Buns on May, and Death Strikes going to be playing the Orphea. Whereas on the left-hand side, we have New Game Plus with Altanian playing on the Abatha, and the 4-man rush bot lane. Let's go with Big Bird on the Garrosh. Kevin going to be playing the Illidan, Melly on the Rhaegar, and that's going to leave Splash, the tank player from last game, going to be playing the Sylvanas. Interesting to see the swap around. They are able to pick up an early tower very quickly, and they back around. What are you talking about? An Avalanche blinds Illidan. I like it. I like it. Fair point and not incorrect. Ryokai has absolutely wrecked this lane. Hat has to be used to grab all those XP globes. As Drunk Dwarf, yeah, there's no one here. Might as well keep pushing. But Abatha doing a good job of grabbing 2 lanes worth of XP. And we're finally going to see the rotations coming out. Everyone heading to lane. Splash going to be making his way up to that top lane, grabbing that vision tower at the same time. While Kevin does Illidan things, gonna grab some vision, but in the meantime, they're kind of missing XP bot. Abathar has to be the one to grab that, or Big Bird needs to move, because right now Big Bird is being vision, but enough people have shown Altanium. Ooh, they got him! They got him! Sniped him with the weighted pustule. They pick up first blood of the game. As Drunk Dwarf looks for some turnaround hyper-aggression here as Ryokai starts doing the mercenaries. And you can see swaps to rapid fire for the final shot, gets the extra damage out. But that first blood, Abatha feels bad, team. Let's have a look at some talents as Sweet Buns says goodbye. So we're going to be starting off with Heavy Pack. Ooh, okay. Each time does a damage to an enemy hero, reduce the cooldown of Snowblind. Maximum blind ability to try and shut down Illidan. You know, see Sweet Buns using Ice Block out of it, using the Cryostasis out of combat to make sure it's off cooldown in time for the next objective. Phoenix starting off with Arsenal Synergy here, really going for that chase down burst, and the target acquired extra movement speed to chase down the Illidan. Cold Front going for that cooldown reduction for May. Really wants to keep that lockdown going and the ability to get out of dodge if she gets caught out. So we see the Ancestral Strength and the standard Chaotic Assault. This is the more standard build for Orphea these days. And Big Bird going with Body Check. Now, this is actually a counter build to May. You go for that anti-heal because it allows you to turn around and stop the healing on May, which means her Cryostasis actually gets a lot less value. We're going to be seeing Blaze going with Meltdown here. Damage reduction. They're really going for a get stuck in here because once they're in melee range of Illidan, it's not really up to them if they leave or not. The Body Check comes in here for the counter anti-heal, and you can see the value there. Sweetbutt's coming out of this with almost less health than she went in, even with the healing. And that is the value of Body Check coming in right there. Nicely done from Big Bird to pick up their first kill of the game, and this will guarantee them the first tribute. As Ryokai has made his way up the top lane to deep push the camp, as Drunk Dwarf is looking quite low on health and mana, and the double push mid lane. Death Strikes and Vivanchi going to be playing some hyper aggression here. Indomitable comes out, Vivanchi goes in, and Vivanchi going to be chased down. Ryokai, though, comes in for the turnaround, and we've a great Arsenal Synergy. Picks off, what, 7 health on Big Bird for a second there. They looked for more, but they can't find it. Big Bird gets out, but they turned that round beautifully with the Arsenal Synergy to pick off Illidan, and now they're looking for Big Bird round 2 to finish him off, but they cannot get him. They can't finish the job, and Vivanchi went too deep, eats some fort damage, eats some fort armor reduction, and Splash finishes the job. Overextension there. It's Drunk Dwarf picking up towers. Mule comes out. Oh, that just feels bad. It even got slowed by the oil. It couldn't make it. It's forced to back away as Splash going to be clearing this up. This is a full symbiote build coming in for the Abatha, by the way. Going for pressurized glands. Cooldown reduction is the more important part of this because it combos with Soma Transference later on. And of course, the Adrenal Overload. They move forward. Channel comes in. No one can make it. Just trade 1 for 1. Very solid. No one can get through the Blizzard. And the slow of Ryokai, so they just get that. Nicely done. Abatha pops down to bot lane, grab the XP. And they take control. Sweet Buns makes the way down. Sweet Buns, by the way, going for skating away here. Movement speed and physical armor, which isn't just for her, but all allied heroes. Now that is very important. 50 physical armor for all allies versus an Illidan is really good. That is very sensible. Big Bird is knocked away. Nicely done. And yay! Mule gets value this time. Mule will get the heal and top up that tower. Illidan clearing out the lanes. Remember, he didn't go for immolation here with battered assault, so his wave clears a little slower, but his team fight potential a little bit better here. This might mean he goes for metamorphosis. We'll have to keep an eye out. Going to be re-rotating back up to top lane. I'm going to be seeing the targeted excision here. It's been working very well for Stukov getting those single-weighted pustules. So, yeah, just going to stick with it. If it works, might as well keep it. A little bit of pressure onto Big Bird. Throws the Bruiser Camp, but in the meantime, Ryokai is just getting some top damage there onto Big Bird, forcing him to back away. It's going to allow Death Knight make their way up, but look at that with festering wounds. Deathstrike gets bodied there. Festering wounds coming in for the Sylvanas, setting up the maximum damage output for them to just body with the Might of the Banshee Queen and pick up that kill. Splash, though, is going to be zoned away here because Drunk Dwarf comes in, the clone, in the wrong spot. Finally going to be forced to move over here as Kevin tried to channel during all of that risky play. There is the Ice Wall. We don't have to remake. Good. Ice Wall and Crushing Jaws. Okay. I see where you're going with this, Brawl is Life. With heroics available. Make their way in. It is Hunt looking for Phoenix, but immediate taunt coming in here to trap everyone in place to follow up on this. As Ryokai, he gets in the bunker. He stays alive as the Ice Wall comes out. Ryokai with the salvo. He's got 9 health. He gets in the bunker. He dodges Kevin there. Ryokai, he's gonna die, but he baited Kevin. Kevin is dropped here as they get the 2 for 1, maybe 3 if they can catch Melee here. But it looks like Melee and Splash will get out of here. Oh, what? Splash goes back in! Splash! Whoa, okay. That was aggressive. They delayed the channel. They did delay the objective, but that was a bit aggressive for my taste. I can see where they were maybe going to try and pick up a kill and leave, but he didn't have any way to get out of that, so nicely done. Well then, they're going to see the boss being taken for Brawl is Life. Going to pick that up. Trade down in bot lane. Kevin and Big Bird going to be starting on that. Melee will assist when they arrive. While Sylvanas going to grab a counter mercenary camp, and that will be used to defend against the boss. However, this clear speed isn't actually very good. May is going to make it. Make it. Ice Wall comes out. Boss ignores it. Will the boss be leashed? No, they keep it aggro. Sweet Buns comes in. Rest of the team is coming in. Ryokai getting thrown in. Crushing Jaws hits no one. Ryokai is, of course, the target. Is Kevin dives into the back. They're going to try and take him out. Ultimatum on the clone of Illidan as they kite it back. Boss is leashed. They turn it around to kill off the clone. Splash has trapped Deathstrike away, but they turn it around with Bloodlust. Down they go. Bloodlust Illidan, too much to deal with as the chase is real. Vivenchi might get out here thanks to the movement speed bonus from Sweet Buns. There's the fading swipe. And they will get out. Sweet Buns! He skates! The speed boost, they are going for distance as we do see the black arrows come out. Boss got leashed, mission accomplished there. This boss still going. Blaze was not here for this fight. That was a 5v4 the entire time because Blaze was pushing this up. But he's going to make his way back here as a fort is traded. That ends up being a fort for a fort. As the Bloodlust Illidan, just way too scary, way too tough to deal with. As round 2, this time with Splash, they will 100% get this time. There's no way this could be stolen, as we will see New Game Plus grabbing their boss, which will be pushing on to Tier 2s. Counteract here as everything slows down. Bruiser Camp taken in the middle lane. Abatha moving up for experience. Keep his team soak going. We can actually have a look at the amount of XP he has soaked. I don't remember what button that is. Never mind, can't find it. Tab. He currently has, of course, the highest XP in the game, although Blaze is spinning so much split soak. Really keeping his team in the game that way. Sweet Buns starts working on the boss. Could really use some help. They're going to grab the Siege Giants to help with the defense. As Drunk Dwarf, how much are they going to be willing to give up on this boss for the objective? They make their way forward. Drunk Dwarf. Body check was used. goes deep. Here comes the Blizzard. They get Big Bird. The cleanse comes out. Focus is there. Hunt comes in. Bloodlust, taunts, and Orpheus never stood a chance. Here comes the stasis, but Sweet Buns is completely isolated from the team. Flaming Swipe comes out. Sweet Buns is going to try and die at the stun, but it kites it beautifully as Kevin survives. Splash into the backline onto Vivenci. They look for Splash. Can't find him. Ultimatum. The clone dives deep. But Vivenci stays alive. Ryokai able to kite beautifully, but they cannot contest this anymore. Forced to let it go as the curse goes over to New Game Plus. Control 4, is it? Yeah, it is. Thank you for the call, Aero. Very cool to see it. See a 10,000 for the Abatha in this game. Almost 9,000 for Blaze is still bloody good. But here's where the problem is. Curse coming in. Boss weakness. They actually cleared that boss really nicely, considering they said like one person to do it. And they're going to be focusing down this bottom lane. However, a lot of focus coming in here. Blizzard and a nice little stasis coming in there. Trying to dodge away. Ice Wall is up in 3 seconds, and Crushing Jaws is available. So if they overstay, this is where Brawl's life could try and turn this in their favor. Illidan is autoing, and he's already managed to get the cooldown reduction high enough that Hunt is back, forcing Ryokai to teleport away. Very risky here. Got dived pretty deep. Fort taken out. Blaze has managed to de-push top lane, but more people could come up here and try and deal with this. Abatha just hanging out, dropping a mule, repairing the gate. Everything is cleared. The keep survives with very minimal damage. They hold together for now. A trap is set. Big Bird looks for some Sweet Buns. Can't find it though. Sweet Buns is out. With 16s now available for both teams, we see the double up and the Seasoned Soldier. This is the main build for Garrosh against Mei by the looks of it. Chase comes in. Ice Wall. Can they make something out of this? They've only got Garrosh. Crushing Jaws. Hunt, though, onto Orphea. Taunt. It's just the same again. It works every time. Flailing Swipe comes out. Speed boost from Sweet Buns. Gets the rest of the team out. Here comes the Salvo, though, with the slow. Stunned by Blaze, but no, it was interrupted. Something interrupted the Salvo and prevented it from going off. Ryokai forced to back up. Shield is eaten away by Altanian, who dives deep just to make the most of that clone health as they trade out. It is Orphea for no one right now as they turn it round. They hold this together. Sweet Buns. Focus down. Big Bird finds the angle. Remember, Ryokai still has that salvo available and may have to use it here because they are getting focused down. Not going to hit Illidan here. Sweet Buns is in trouble. Sweet Buns, Bunker will save the day, but he now needs to get out of here with Melly in position. It's going to get out thanks to the zoning of Ryokai, a drunk dwarf. Nicely done. They're even going to try and chase down here. Ryokai teleports forward, drops the extra damage output with his level 7, the divert power weapons. And they stay alive. And also, they are one tribute away from a curse. With everyone surviving here, they're going to try and make a play. The problem is, Splash knows exactly that is the move they should be making, so he's going to try and make the play onto bottom lane and try and get the keep. So what do we see for Brawler's life? Does anyone port back to deal with this? Nope, they get boss as well. In fact, they are going to send someone to port back, but oops! Interrupted by the boss. So now, they have to commit. Now they have to get this curse, and they have to get the boss, because Sylve is going to get a lot of damage, if not the entire keep here, especially with the help of Abatha. So they're just going to commit that keep to history and make the play. I'm the type of person who opens a bag of chips with a pair of scissors. No, I'm the kind of person who will try to open it, fail, and then use my teeth as we begin to move forward, because I am a travesty of a human. Illidan, friend or foe, out of there. No chance of dying. Keep is down, so now it is the commitment of turning the keep and getting the counter. As Brawl is life. Push in. Garrosh is here and available. 20's not available for either team, as this boss with Curse is going to guarantee this keep. This keep will fall. The question is, how much further can they go? There is a Siege Giant pushing in this bottom lane, which will do core damage eventually. Minions going to be able to cause a nuisance here. Blaze went in. Ice Wall doesn't hit anyone. That has been burned. Blizzard to zone. Boss still pretty healthy. How much are they willing to work for this? One mercenary already down. They keep pushing. They're going to try and make the play. Drugdorf with the stun. Salvo interrupted. Silence. Wailing Arrow with the taunt. It is good from Big Bird. Keeping his team in the game as Hunt deletes Ryokai. Big Bird tries to turn it in as Kevin is focused down in full retreat. Here comes the Snowblind trying to finish him off. They get Big Bird. Boss is healthy. It's Splash and Kevin as Kevin goes deep. Looking for Drugdorf. Looking for the play. Right into the stun by Sweet Buns. And that is going to be it. Game number 2 and the series goes over to Brawl is Life, as they will move on to play against Team Alexander. Beautiful finish there by Brawl is Life. Able to take the game and this series. A fantastic final push. Very cool to see. Ryokai for core bad trade. The PM is real. Alrighty. It's friendly PM. It's fine. Alrighty. Let's have a look at some of these stats. Splash, top in damage numbers for his team, of course. Illidan, 4 takedowns. 3 of them Orphea, most likely, who died 4 times. Death Strikes had a kinda sucky game there. Not because he played bad, he played brilliantly, but just because Orphea's so good that he's the target, and therefore Hunt, Garrosh, all the burst from Splash, everything was just focused onto poor Death Strikes. That game is definitely one of those games where your team wins, but you're sitting there seething because you just got bullied, and in exchange your team wins the game. Very nicely done. Big shout-outs to Drunk Dwarf with those big stuns to set that up. And May, the Ice Walls did not land, but everything else did. The blinds on Illidan were top-notch. And once again, Vivanchi, the early kills gave them that slight lead, which allowed them to stay equal as the game went on due to the Abatha split soak. Very nicely executed. Let's have a look at some of the talents. Talent-wise, we can see exactly what we would expect, although the Targeted Excision and Pox Populi were used significantly more actively than maybe usual. Illidan went for the Friend or Foe, Thirsting Blade, standard stuff here, Nimble Defender, and Marked for Death. Although Rhaegar switching it up a bit with Electric Charge, Earth Shield, and Rising Storm, trying to maximize the damage output here and try and hyper carry that Illidan a bit more. They lost out on healing output for it, but they tried to make up for it with Soma Transference. Very cool to see. As we do see also again. Windrunner would have been very helpful in the early game, but Splash did make up for it by being an absolute monster in terms of damage output. Able to make some really good plays there. As, yeah, the Garrosh build as well, very standard, would have gone for the extra body check talent on level 20 if they'd made it there. But that was a very solid push to end. Very nicely executed by Brawl is Life. They make it through to the next round. Alrighty, that's game number 1. I'm going to update my overlays. And we'll see if we can get it going. So, hopefully Brawl is Life will be nice. And stay on the right-hand side for me, which I believe they are anyway. Alexander. That was a tiny little bug. I saw something behind me and I thought it was a spider for a second. And I got a little nervous. But not so much this time. Those Wailings were bodying... Oh, dude, those Wailings were absolutely top. Like I said, Splash played really well. Splash was an absolute nuisance that game, and it really showed. Alrighty, so, Team Alexander... Let's have a look here. I need to be checking the resources here. Just making sure I've spelled everything right. Looks like it. Alexander... Yep, that looks right. Clear maps. Round 2. I'm just doing all the fancy stuff. I'm just doing all the boring stuff while you guys are chilling, really. And a set logo for Team Alexander. What is their logo? I haven't actually looked. It is that. Alrighty. Well, everybody, I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Congratulations to Brawl is Life, making it through to round 2. We're going to head to a break while Team Alexander and Brawl is Life set up the picks and bans, the map picks and bans. And when we come back, it will be time for our second series of the day. So do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with America versus South Korea, where Team Alexander will take on Brawl is Life. I realized I got those the wrong way around. Deal with it. See you all in a moment. If you're enjoying, be sure to leave a sub, donation bit, or a follow, just so you know when I go live. Thank you all for watching. Back in just a moment.